Imagine if I told you there's a medicine that doesn't come in a pill, doesn't cost a dime, and yet can heal your heart, mind, and soul in seconds. Would you take it? Well, here's the secret. It's been living inside you all along. It's laughter. Laughter is the shortcut to happiness, not because it ignores life's struggles, because it teaches us how to carry them with a lighter load. When we laugh, our bodies release endorphins, those little sparks of joy that run through our bloodstream, telling our brain, hey, it's okay, you're safe, you're alive, and you've got this. Stress melts, tension fades, and suddenly what seemed impossible feels manageable. That's the power of laughter. It doesn't erase problems, but it gives us a stronger back to carry them. But laughter is not just for ourselves. It's the most universal language in the world. You don't need a dictionary to understand it. You don't need subtitles to hear it. When people laugh together, walls fall down. Strangers become friends, families heal, and even conflicts soften. Think about it, one shared laugh in a room can change the energy for everyone present. Laughter isn't just noise, it's connection. Beyond emotions, laughter is also science at work. When you laugh, your immune system wakes up like it's been given a shot of espresso. Your heart pumps better, your blood pressure lowers, and your body feels alive. Doctors call it therapy, but deep down we all know it's nature's way of saying joy is the best medicine. And the beautiful part, unlike medicine, you don't need a prescription. Laughter also works on the mind like a genius teacher. It rewires the brain to be more open, creative, and curious. Haven't you noticed that the moments you laugh the most are the moments you remember most clearly? Humor makes knowledge stick, ideas flow, and problems shrink into puzzles we can solve. It is a spark that makes learning less of a burden and more of an adventure. Most importantly, laughter is not just a reaction, it is a choice, a philosophy. Life will throw challenges, heartbreak, and storms, but laughter gives us resilience. It's the umbrella we hold up when it rains, not to stop the storm, but to remind ourselves we won't drown in it. People who laugh often don't live in denial, they live with courage. They understand that happiness is not a destination, it is the way we walk, and laughter is the shortcut to that path. Laughter is the shortcut to happiness, not because it magically wipes away pain or because it makes the world suddenly perfect, but because it changes how we carry the weight of life. Think about it. When you laugh, even for a moment, your body reacts like it's been given a ticket out of stress. Your shoulders relax, your breath deepens, and suddenly you realize you're not as trapped as you thought. It's like flipping on a light in a dark room. The furniture is still there, but now you see where to walk without tripping. That's the miracle of laughter. It doesn't erase our challenges. It simply teaches us how to live above them. There's science behind that magic. When you laugh, your brain releases endorphins, those tiny chemicals of joy that travel through your bloodstream like fireworks. They tell your body, it's okay, you're safe, you're alive, and you can handle this. Stress hormones take a step back, your heartbeat slows, your blood pressure lowers, and for a few moments, life feels manageable again. It's the simplest form of therapy, yet one of the most overlooked. You don't need a doctor to prescribe it. You don't need a pharmacy to provide it. All you need is the courage to let go and laugh. But laughter's true power doesn't stop at our own skin. It reaches outward, bridging gaps we thought were unbridgeable. Have you ever noticed how a laugh can break the ice faster than any introduction? How one shared moment of humor in a room full of strangers can make everyone feel like they've known each other forever? That's because laughter is the world's most universal language. You don't need a translator to understand it. You don't need subtitles to feel it. It speaks across cultures, across generations, across every barrier we humans try to build. In that instant when people laugh together, they're no longer divided by status beliefs or fear. They're connected by something pure, something deeply human. And let's not forget, laughter is good for the body in ways that textbooks and research keep proving. When you laugh, your immune system wakes up. Your body releases cells that fight off illness, your heart gets a healthy workout, and even pain can be dulled. Doctors call it a natural painkiller. You could spend a fortune on medicine, or you could laugh more often. The body knows joy, and it rewards us for it. Laughter is nature's way of healing, a prescription you can refill anytime, anywhere, for free. But laughter doesn't just soothe the body, it sharpens the mind. Humor has a strange way of making us smarter. Think about your favorite teachers, mentors, or even moments of learning. The lessons that stayed with you the longest weren't the ones spoken in monotone or printed on dry pages. They were the ones wrapped in humor, in stories that made you smile or laugh. Laughter has a way of cracking open the brain, making it more receptive to creativity and problem solving. A laughing mind is a flexible mind, and a flexible mind can learn, adapt, and create. Even in the toughest of situations, a sense of humor can turn a mountain into a climbable hill. It can transform obstacles into puzzles, making life's hardships less threatening and more approachable. And this is where laughter becomes more than a moment. It becomes a philosophy, a way of living. Life will not always be kind. It will test you, break you, challenge you in ways you never thought possible. But when you choose laughter, you're choosing resilience. You're telling the world, yes, you can try to knock me down, but you won't take away my joy. It's not denial, it's courage. People who laugh through hardship are not pretending everything is fine. They are declaring that their spirit is stronger than their suffering. They are holding an umbrella in the rain, not to stop the storm, but to remind themselves that storms pass and they won't drown. So often we chase happiness like it's hiding at the end of some long road, a prize we'll earn when everything finally works out. But the truth is, happiness is not a destination. It is the way we travel. And laughter is the shortcut. It reminds us that even in the mess, in the chaos, in the heartbreak, joy is still possible. It tells us that happiness isn't about waiting for life to get easier, but about finding ways to rise above it, even if just with a giggle, a chuckle, or a full belly laugh that leaves you breathless. So the next time life feels heavy, don't forget the gift you already carry within you. Laugh at a silly joke, laugh with a friend, laugh at yourself if you must. Just laugh. Because every laugh is a reminder you are alive, you are strong, and happiness is not as far away as it seems. It's here in this moment, waiting for you to let it in. Have you ever noticed how a room full of strangers can feel like a battlefield? Quiet, tense, everyone clutching their armor of silence until someone cracks a joke. And suddenly, as if by magic, the walls come tumbling down. The room isn't cold anymore. People look at each other, not even smile. Why? Because laughter is the fastest way two hearts can shake hands. It doesn't need an introduction. It doesn't need a business card. And it sure doesn't care about your RA Summe. Laughter is the shortcut to connection. That's the thing about laughter. It is the most universal language we have. You don't need subtitles to understand it. A belly laugh in New York sounds the same as one in Tokyo, Karachi, or Cape Town. A giggle from a child in one culture is recognized instantly by a parent on the other side of the world. Laughter bypasses the barriers we build: race, religion, class, politics. It cuts through accents, through traditions, through generations. You can put two people in a room who share no common words, and if they laugh together, they will understand each other far more than an hour-long debate could achieve. But here's where it gets beautiful. Laughter doesn't just break the ice. It melts it. Think about conflict, about those tense moments when people stand on opposite sides of an issue. A clever line, a small burst of humor can disarm hostility faster than reason ever could. It's hard to keep your fists up when you're laughing. Laughter has the unique power to transform suspicion into trust, distance into closeness, and strangers into allies. Science backs this up. When people laugh together, their brains actually sync up. Yes, literally. The same neural pathways light up, and the body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That's the same chemical that helps mothers connect to their babies, the same one that deepens romantic relationships. So when you laugh with someone, you're not just sharing a moment, you're chemically reinforcing a bond. You are on a biological level saying, I feel safe with you. And safety is the foundation of all meaningful relationships. Now think about families. Families are not perfect. They fight, they misunderstand, they hurt one another. Have you noticed that some of the most healing moments in a family's life don't come from long lectures or complicated explanations, but from shared laughter around a dinner table? That's because laughter reminds us of the humanity beneath the disagreement. It takes us back to the core of love. It tells us that, yes, life is messy, but we can still find joy together. The workplace, too, offers proof of this magic. Teams that laugh together don't just get along better, they perform better. A team meeting full of laughter is not an unproductive meeting. It's a creative one. Humor fuels innovation because it frees the brain from fear. When people laugh together at work, they feel safe to share bold ideas, to risk being wrong, to think outside the box. Leaders who encourage laughter are not simply keeping morale high, they are cultivating trust, which is the foundation of any successful collaboration. And let's not forget the strangers in our lives. The cashier at the store, the bus driver, the neighbor you don't really know. A shared laugh, even a quick one, has the power to brighten the whole day. It turns a transaction into a connection, a routine moment into a memory. We often underestimate these little encounters, but they are threads in the fabric of community. The more laughter we share with strangers, the more the world feels like a home instead of a crowd. Of course, laughter isn't just about joy, it's also about healing. In grief and tragedy, in the darkest moments, shared laughter becomes a bridge back to life. It doesn't mean we're ignoring the pain. It means we're holding hands through it. Survivors of disasters, people recovering from illness, communities torn by conflict. All of them have stories of how laughter gave them the strength to go on. Because when you laugh together, you remind each other we're still here, and as long as we're here, we can carry on. And here's something profound: laughter teaches humility. When you laugh at yourself, you invite others to see your vulnerability, and when they laugh with you, not at you, the bond becomes unbreakable. Vulnerability is the birthplace of connection, and laughter makes vulnerability safe. It says, I don't have to be perfect to be loved. I can be silly, I can be flawed, I can be real, and still we can share joy. And so yes, laughter strengthens human connection because it bypasses the noise. It doesn't care about the arguments. The difference is the pride. It speaks directly to the soul. It reminds us that we belong to one another, that we are not alone, and that even in our brief moments on this earth, we can experience together something timeless and universal. So the next time you're in a room full of strangers, don't wait for introductions. Don't wait for the perfect conversation starter. Let laughter be the handshake, the invitation, the bridge. Because in that moment, you'll discover the truth happiness shared through laughter isn't just happiness doubled. It's happiness multiplied beyond measure. And that is the fastest way to connect human to human, heart to heart. Picture this: you're sitting in a doctor's office, waiting for the usual advice: eat more vegetables, exercise, cut down on sugar. But instead, imagine your doctor leaning in, looking you straight in the eye and saying, take 2 laughs in the morning and call me tomorrow. You'd probably laugh at that, but that's the point. Because laughter, believe it or not, is one of the most powerful medicines your body can take. You see, when you laugh, something extraordinary happens inside you. Your body is not just entertained, it's working. Your lungs expand, your heart rate increases, and your muscles get a little workout. Some researchers call it internal jogging because a good belly laugh mimics the benefits of light exercise. You burn calories, you stretch muscles, and you flood your body with oxygen. It's like the gym, but without the membership fee or the guilt when you skip leg day. And then comes the magic part. Your brain releases endorphins, those natural feel-good chemicals that act like your body's built-in painkillers. A good laugh can ease tension headaches, soothe sore muscles, even reduce chronic pain. People dealing with illness from arthritis to cancer often say laughter doesn't erase their suffering, but it gives them the strength to live through it. In those moments of joy, the pain takes a back seat. But laughter doesn't stop there. It works on your immune system too. Think of it as an upgrade for your body's defense team. When you laugh, your immune cells become more active, antibodies increase, and your body gets better at fighting off infections. You're not just boosting your mood, you're boosting your shield. Studies have shown that people who laugh often are less likely to get sick, and when they do, they recover faster. Laughter is like giving your immune system a pep talk. You've got this. Keep fighting. And what about your heart? Oh, your heart loves a good laugh. Laughter improves blood flow, reduces inflammation, and helps prevent the buildup of stress that damages arteries. It lowers blood pressure and protects against heart disease. Cardiologists could give you a prescription, but the truth is, 10 minutes of laughter with friends might be as good as any pill in keeping your heart happy. And let's be honest, it's a lot more fun than a treadmill stress test. Now, let's talk about stress. We all know stress is like poison. It raises blood pressure, weakens the immune system, and exhausts the body. But laughter is stress's natural enemy. When you laugh, cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Your body enters a relaxed state, your breathing slows, and your muscles release tension. It's as if laughter gently tells your nervous system, hey, calm down, it's going to be okay. And in that calmness, your health finds a way to restore itself. But the beauty of laughter isn't just in its immediate effects. It has long-term benefits too. People who laugh often report sleeping better, having more energy, and feeling younger. Why? Because laughter balances the body. It keeps the systems, from circulation to digestion, running smoothly. It's not an exaggeration to say laughter adds years to your life. In fact, some studies suggest people with a strong sense of humor live longer. Maybe that's because they find a way to keep joy alive, no matter what age they reach. And let's not forget the mental side. Physical health isn't just about bones, muscles, and organs. It's about the mind. Anxiety and depression take a toll on the body as much as the mind. Laughter lightens that load. It brings perspective, reminding us that problems are temporary and that joy can exist even in difficulty. Psychologists often use humor therapy to help people cope with trauma, loss, or mental illness, because laughter doesn't erase the darkness, but it shines a light bright enough to find the way out. It's fascinating, really. We spend billions of dollars on medicine, treatments, and cures, but here we have something free, available to everyone, and side effect free. Laughter costs nothing, but it pays back in health dividends you can't measure. And the best part, you don't even need to wait until something funny happens. You can invite laughter. Watch a comedy, share a silly story, play with children, or even laugh at yourself. Your body doesn't care whether the laughter is prompted by a joke or by sheer silliness. It still reaps the benefits. So yes, laughter improves physical health in ways we can measure with machines and in ways we can only feel in the heart. It's exercise, it's medicine, it's therapy, it's prevention, all wrapped into one. It doesn't ask for an appointment, it doesn't require insurance, and it doesn't come with a list of side effects read at the speed of light at the end of a commercial. So the next time you feel tired, stressed, or weighed down, don't just reach for the medicine cabinet. Reach for joy. Seek out a laugh, share one, and let your body drink in the benefits. Because laughter is not just entertainment, it's healing. It's your body's way of saying, thank you for remembering I was built to be joyful. And when we honor that, when we allow laughter to be part of our daily routine, we're not just happier, we're healthier, stronger, and more alive. Have you ever had one of those days when your brain feels like an old computer? Slow, frozen, stuck with the spinning wheel of doom. You try to focus, but nothing clicks. Now, here's the funny part. Sometimes all it takes to reboot the system isn't caffeine or another to-do list, but laughter. That's right. Laughter is like hitting the refresh button on your brain. It doesn't just make you feel good. It actually rewires the way your mind works. You see, the brain is a fascinating piece of machinery. It's constantly changing, building new pathways, pruning old ones, adjusting how we think, feel, and respond. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to reshape itself, and laughter is one of the most effective tools for sparking that change. When you laugh, your brain isn't just entertained, it's busy firing neurons, activating multiple regions, and forging connections that strengthen learning, memory, and creativity. It's like a mental workout that uses joy as the weightlifting. Think about it. Haven't you noticed that the lessons you remember most are the ones that made you laugh? Maybe a teacher who slipped a joke into the lecture, or a friend who explained something with humor. Humor grabs your attention, and attention is the gateway to memory. When you laugh, dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, is released. Dopamine doesn't just make you feel good, it also tells your brain, hey, remember this? It's important. That's why students who learn with humor often retain more knowledge. The brain loves joy, and it rewards us for it with sharper recall. But it's not just about memory, it's about creativity too. Laughter loosens the mental knots that stress ties up. Under pressure, the brain narrows its focus like a flashlight beaming on one spot. That's useful in emergencies, but not so much when you need big ideas. Laughter flips the switch, turning that flashlight into a floodlight, widening perspective, encouraging new connections, and making space for imagination. Some of the world's greatest innovators have admitted that their best ideas came in moments of play, in times when humor opened the door to creativity. A mind that laughs is a mind that sees possibilities. And let's not forget problem solving. Stress tends to make problems look bigger than they are. But laughter shrinks them down to size. When you laugh, cortisol, the stress hormone, drops and your brain becomes calmer. A calmer brain is a smarter brain. It can approach challenges with clarity instead of panic. That's why people often say, after a good laugh, I could finally see the solution. It's not just coincidence, it's neuroscience. Humor shifts perspective, and perspective solves problems. Even socially, laughter changes how the brain responds. It triggers mirror neurons, the cells that make us empathize and connect. When you see someone laughing, your brain lights up in the same areas as if you're laughing too. That's why laughter feels contagious. But it's more than mimicry, it's bonding. It teaches the brain that joy is safe, that people are allies, that relationships are worth building. Over time, these repeated signals wire the brain toward trust and compassion, making laughter not just a reaction, but a teacher of empathy. The long-term impact is even more fascinating. People who laugh often develop resilience, not just emotionally, but cognitively. Their brains become better at bouncing back after setbacks. Why? Because laughter rewires the default mode network, the part of the brain that deals with self-reflection and rumination. In other words, laughter helps the brain stop replaying the negative loop and instead move forward with optimism. It doesn't end pain, but it refuses to let pain write the whole story. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about avoiding seriousness. Laughter doesn't mean we ignore life difficulties. It means we give the brain the flexibility to handle them. A rigid mind breaks under pressure. A flexible one bends and survives. Laughter builds that flexibility. It's like yoga for the brain, stretching, relaxing, strengthening, and reminding us that life isn't just about survival, but about joy. And here's something we don't often think about. Laughter trains the brain to be present. When you laugh, you're not worried about yesterday or anxious about tomorrow. You're fully in the moment. That presence is powerful. It anchors the brain in now, which is where true peace lies. Meditation. mindfulness, deep breathing, all wonderful practices. But sometimes a good laugh gets you there faster than anything else. So yes, laughter rewires the brain in ways we can see on scans and in ways we feel in our hearts. It sharpens memory, fuels creativity, improves problem solving, deepens empathy, builds resilience, and grounds us in the present. It transforms the brain from a machine of survival into an engine of thriving. It teaches us that intelligence is not just about calculation, it's about joy. So the next time your brain feels stuck before you reach for another cup of coffee or spiral into frustration, try this laugh. Find something silly, something playful, something ridiculous. Let your brain light up, connect, and grow. Because every time you laugh, you're not just enjoying a moment, you're rewiring the most powerful tool you own. And the more you wire it with joy, the more you'll discover that happiness isn't a destination, it's a way of thinking. And it starts, quite simply, with a laugh. My friends, it's never gonna stop throwing curveballs. Bills pile up, relationships wobble, the car breaks down the one day you really needed it, and somehow the universe always picks the worst timing to test your patience. But here's the secret. While we can't control the chaos, we can choose how we carry it. And laughter, more than anything else, is a way of living. It isn't just a reaction when something's funny, it's a philosophy, a survival strategy, a compass pointing us back to joy even in the darkest storms. See, most people think laughter is the byproduct of happiness. First you get the good news, then you laugh. First life gets easier, then you smile. But that's backwards. The truth is, laughter often comes first. It's the spark that creates happiness, not just the result of it. You don't wait until the storm passes to laugh. You laugh in the storm, because that's how you remember the sun still exists. Laughter is not denial, it's defiance. It's looking at life and saying, you can't break me if I choose to find joy. When you carry laughter as a philosophy, you start to see problems differently. What once looked like a mountain begins to shrink into a hill you can climb. Laughter gives you perspective. It whispers, this too shall pass, but in a way that makes you believe it. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be joyful, and laughter proves that. It's the umbrella in the rain, not stopping the storm, but reminding you that you won't drown. And it's contagious. A person who lives with laughter as a philosophy becomes a lighthouse for others. Ever notice how one person's laughter in a room can ripple through the crowd, loosening shoulders, softening faces, warming the space? That's not an accident, it's leadership. Not the kind with titles or corner offices, but the kind that says, we're in this together, and we're gonna be okay. People who live with humor inspire others to do the same. They remind us that hope is not nam va, it's necessary. Now, this doesn't mean laughter ignores pain. No, it works hand in hand with it. Some of the most profound moments of healing come wrapped in humor. Families grieving together find relief in shared memories that bring tears and laughter all at once. Communities torn by hardship rebuild their spirit through jokes, songs, and smiles. Survivors of illness, war, or loss often say that laughter didn't erase the pain, but it gave them the strength to endure it. That's the philosophy at work. Laughter is not the absence of suffering, but the refusal to let suffering have the last word. And when laughter becomes your philosophy, you become more resilient. Life bends you, but you don't break. You learn to bounce back, to roll with the punches, to improvise when the script falls apart. People with humor in their spirit don't avoid hardship. They outlast it. They know happiness is not at the end of some road after everything goes right. It's here in the messy middle, and laughter is the key to finding it. Even in the small daily moments, this philosophy shows up. Waiting in traffic becomes a chance to laugh at the absurdity of it all. Burning dinner becomes a family joke instead of a failure. Forgetting your keys, again, becomes a story you can laugh about instead of a reason to beat yourself up. Laughter transforms mistakes into memories. It turns frustrations into fuel. It lightens the weight of living in a world that often feels too heavy. And here's the truth: laughter as a philosophy is not about being funny. It's about being free. Free from the need to be perfect. Free from the grip of fear. Free from the lie that life has to be serious all the time. When you allow yourself to laugh, you allow yourself to live. You give permission to your inner child to keep playing, exploring, and enjoying the ride. So yes, laughter is more than a moment. It's a way of being. It's resilience in disguise. It's hope with a smile. It's a choice to see light even when shadows surround you. When laughter becomes your compass, you realize happiness is not a faraway destination, but a path you walk every day. And each laugh is a step forward. So I invite you, don't just laugh when something's funny. Laugh because life is short. Laugh because it's messy. Laugh because it's hard, and that's exactly when you need it most. Carry it like a philosophy. Wear it like armor, and share it like a gift. Because in the end, the storms will come, the trials will test us, but those who laugh will not just survive, they will shine. You know, When you look back at everything we've explored about laughter, the way it lightens our stress, the way it strengthens our connections, the way it even helps our bodies fight the good fight, you begin to realize something extraordinary. Happiness is not this distant mountain we're trying to climb with heavy boots, carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. Happiness is right here, sitting in the passenger seat, wearing a clown nose and waiting for you to notice. The shortcut to happiness isn't some mystical secret buried in the Himalayas. It's already living inside you. Every time you let yourself laugh. Think about it, every time you laugh, you open a door. Behind that door is relief, understanding, and joy. That's why it feels so good. Your brain doesn't care if you're laughing at a perfectly written joke or at the fact that you tripped over your own shoelace. All it knows is, hey, something feels safe enough right now for me to release this burst of happiness. And in that release, your soul breathes a little easier. It's nature's way of saying, you survived this moment. Now celebrate it. The real magic of laughter is that it's contagious. One person chuckles, another smirks, and suddenly the whole room erupts into giggles like dominoes falling. It's proof that happiness multiplies when shared. That's not just poetry, that's biology. Mirror neurons in your brain are wired to reflect what you see. So when someone else laughs, part of you wants to join them. That means every time you laugh in front of someone, you're not just healing yourself, you're handing out doses of happiness, like candy at Halloween. You become the shortcut for somebody else's joy. But here's the catch, so many people take life so seriously that they forget to laugh. They save it for special occasions, as if joy needs to be scheduled. But laughter is not dessert, it's the main course. You don't wait until the end of your life to enjoy it. You season every day with it. You sprinkle it into your morning coffee. You stir it into your boring work emails. You drop it into awkward conversations until everyone feels lighter. Laughter is the seasoning that makes the meal of life taste like something worth savoring. Education, wisdom, knowledge, they're all powerful, but without laughter, they become heavy, dry, and cold. Laughter gives warmth to wisdom, makes lessons memorable, and turns struggles into stories. Imagine a teacher who drones on with no humor. Now imagine one who laughs at their own mistakes, who tells a joke about the subject that makes you giggle while you learn. Who are you going to remember? The one who reminded you that joy and growth can sit at the same table. That's the power laughter has. It transforms the ordinary into something unforgettable. And that's why laughter is the shortcut to happiness. Not because it denies pain or covers up struggle, but because it gives you a lighter way to carry them. It says, yes, life is hard. Yes, there will be heartbreak and chaos. But here's a moment, just one, where you can let it all go. That release doesn't erase your problems, but it gives you the strength to face them again tomorrow. Sometimes a good laugh is the armor you need before walking into battle with the world. So let me leave you with this. If you want to be happy, don't chase it. Don't make it some destination that's always 10 years from now, after the promotion, after the house, after the retirement. Find it in the sound of your own laugh. Find it in the silly moments you share with the people you love. Find it when life throws you a curveball, and you can only shake your head and say, well, at least it's going to make a funny story later. Because in the end, happiness isn't about avoiding the storms. It's about learning to dance, to trip, and to laugh in the rain. And when you do that, when you let laughter guide you, you'll realize you didn't just take a shortcut to happiness. You've been living in it all along.